Welcome to 719 News, our fall newscast. I'm Brinley Williamson.
And I'm Jonathan Domow, and we're your anchors for this newscast. Wow, what a fall it's been. First time in a while that COVID hasn't restricted everything.
Events at CHS are in full swing. We had a great pep rally this week, and your Chelmsford Lions made it to the playoffs in the round of 8 for the first time in a while. Pep rally was tons of fun, but I wasn't able to attend all of the games this year. For a recap on the football season, here's Stella Lamson.
Hello everyone, this is Stella Lamson for CHS TV, and I am here today with Kai Everett, who had a fantastic game, and the whole team really did have a fantastic game today. I know that you guys haven't won against North Andover for a couple of years, so this year must have been really special in order to beat such a hard team, and you've beat so many teams so far this year. What do you think is making this year different compared to other years when it comes to your training?
We're just putting in the work in and out of practice. Even on the weekends, we're hitting the field as a team, getting better, and just putting the grind all together as a team.
What sets us apart is the way we come at practice day in and day out. We have the same mindset every week, no matter what team we're playing. We just go 100% all the time, no matter what. We got a great group of seniors. We all have our backs.
We're like one big family, and it's as soon as someone does something wrong, it's okay, we got to fix it, we got to help them, we got to help them get better, and then it just leads out here on the field, and what happens.
Can I just say, I'm really impressed that you were able to get a touchdown since you play offense. Can you tell me a little bit about how you were feeling after that touchdown?
Well, it was really just all shock because I didn't think that I was actually going to get the ball and be able to outrun everyone, but it was just great, and then all my teammates just swarmed me, and they were all super happy, and it was just a surreal feeling.
O-line really stepped up. They did a great job protecting our quarterback, just protecting our running back, and did a great job.
Thank you so much. I am so happy for you. I hope that you have an awesome rest of your night. I hope that you guys have an awesome rest of your night too. This is Stella Lamson for CHS TV.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you to Stella for reporting on that. Great seasons for not only our football team, but all our other sports teams. For more on that, check out our fall sports wrap-up coming out on December 2nd. And you know, Brinley, while you might not have been able to attend all the games this season, the CHS Marching Band attended every home game this season. In our next segment, produced by Jade Bauer and edited by Nathan Hay, we have a highlight on the CHS Marching Band.
The marching band performs at home games here at Chelmsford High School for the football team, the varsity football team. And we also perform at the City of Lights Parade in Lowell, which is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. This weekend we are traveling to UMass Amherst, and we're performing at Band Day out there. We also do the Memorial Day Parade and the 4th of July Parade. The general purpose of the marching band is to promote the culture of Chelmsford High School. And as far as the music department goes, the marching band, because it starts so early in the school year, even before the school year starts, it serves a great purpose in establishing a routine and standards and expectations for the band program that we have here at the school.
My job as a drum major is to work as an assistant to Mr. Sexauer and lead the band. And then also during our performances, I act as the field conductor.
I describe it as being like the middleman between Mr. Sexauer and the band. Like if any of the band members have an issue that they want addressed, like they come to me first, and if I don't know what the answer to that question, whatever question they have is, they go to Mr. Sexauer.
Well, as the director, it's my responsibility to make sure that everybody is learning their music and learning the correct notes and rhythms, and we have rehearsals on Tuesdays that we use to learn the drill, which is the formations on the field.
What do I enjoy most?
I think the friendships you make, personally.
The thing I enjoy the most about marching band.
I really enjoy the fact that it feels like a family. Like I can go up to anyone and just start having a conversation with them.
I mean, band is a family in general, but like when you're drum major, everyone is kind of like knows who you are, so it's easier to make like connections and like friendships and stuff.
What I enjoy the most about marching band would be the community that it builds.
So to get into this position as drum major, I auditioned. So basically what happens is at the end of the year, there's always at least one spot open for drum major.
Mr. Sexauer sent out a Google form asking about what band officer position people in the band would like to try out for.
And then we were handed audition material, so we were given a piece, and then we had to conduct the band during a final.
And so all of the other drum majors at the time, so Sam Hargate, Kate Mason, Jamie Garber, they decided I was a good fit for it, and Mr. Sexauer agreed with them, and so I'm drum major.
Our show this year we're calling Night Music, and we're doing Late in the Evening by Paul Simon, A Night in Tunisia by Dizzy Gillespie, and All Night Long by Lionel Richie. The band sounds good on All Night Long. I like that one the best. I chose that song first, and I kind of worked the rest of the pieces around it.
So marching band, we have a Tuesday rehearsal from 4 to 7, but sometimes if things aren't ready, people have to either prepare during band class during that week, or they have to go home and make sure that they are ready.
Most difficult part of being in marching band?
Basically, how you are that day is kind of what the band sees, and it's kind of like, because the band is your mirror. So it's like if you're hype, the band's going to be hype. But if you're having a bad day and you like kind of let it show, the band might like reciprocate that feeling, and you don't want that.
Learning the drill, I'd say. It's a lot of memorization, and then having to add playing over that it's like trying to pat your head and rub your stomach. It's two different motions at once. And it can be really confusing at first, but then eventually you get into the groove of it.
And if we didn't have marching band, I don't think we would have such a good band program here at the school at all.
It's great to hear from the band director and drum majors. CHS has so many involved students that enrich the culture of our school. To pivot to another group that has impacted school lately, the Student Council has made an effort to reverse a new phone policy enacted by administration this year. They put out a poll to get a sense of how students feel about the policy. For more on this, let's go to Arushi Chopra.
Students are required to put their cell phones in what looks like a shoe hanger inside of all of the classrooms, and at the very end of class they can get it back before they transition to the next class.
I like pretty much all of it. I like that it's uniform throughout the classes, that every class has the kind of same setup, same kind of routine. So far so good.
I love that the phone policy allows for students to engage with one another instead of resorting to their phones and social media during class.
I like that I know where my phone is. I know that it's like not going to get lost on my stuff. I know that I'm not going to get distracted with anything.
Class runs more smoothly, like people are less distracted.
Definitely gave us more time and more time to actually get work done in class rather than just goof around.
I think it was overall worth it because I think it was kind of an issue because everyone was on their phones a lot in class.
It's definitely worth it, and it was a trouble before, but now the policy in place definitely has changed a lot. But I do miss the time.
I'd say for the most part worth it. Some details are not great.
It really depends on the student. For some students it might be helping them, for some students it might be hindering them, and for some students it might not be affecting them at all.
I think it's much more of a problem than before because a lot of people don't like it, and I can understand why.
I guess I don't like when you actually have to use your phone for a certain assignment, like if it's a calculator, like taking progress photos of something.
I used to listen to music, take photos of classwork, or even upload it on classwork.
I only use my phone to listen to music.
Probably just whenever we had free time, I would do Instagram instead of actual work.
Phones are basically designed, and apps are designed with this kind of addiction mentality, so you kind of feel like you need to be on it all the time. So having that physical separation, it's a nice breakaway, and I see again, having more conversations with students. It's just nice.
It's not a punishment, it's to allow us to have a better school environment and connect with one another and develop long-lasting relationships.
If there was a negative, it's just having to monitor it, but honestly, if you're on your phone, it's pretty easy to see.
The policy was made in the interest of the students. I think the reason that the admin decided to do this policy is because they want to promote student learning, student education, and their engagement within the classroom as well. So I think it's really just understanding that it's for their benefit is the reason why it's important for them to follow it.
Big thanks to Kate Evans for editing that segment. You know, Brinley, I'm curious to know, how do you feel about this new phone policy?
It's definitely affected some classes more than others, and I feel like it depends more on the teacher than administration may have predicted. Some teachers have phone pockets for us to put our phones in, but others just trust students not to be on them. I found it interesting that the Student Council decided to put out that poll. It was definitely a good move, but the results were not what we hoped for.
I certainly agree with you there. As a senior, this policy was around my freshman year, and having it come back again for my senior year, I can't say that I'm liking it very much. However, what I do like about all this is how CHS students have really made their opinions known. And if you like hearing CHS students give their opinions, then you should check out CHS The Vibe.
Did you hear the vibes back?
Kira, did you hear?
Did I hear what?
The vibe. It's back.
The vibe is back?
Hey,
Tom.
Yeah.
Did you hear the vibe is back?
No, it is?
It's back. Oh my gosh, Nick, have you heard? Heard what? That the vibe is back? Wait, what? The vibe is back!
The vibe is back. No, I feel young and vibrant now. The vibe is back.
The vibe is back. I repeat, the vibe is back.
The vibe is back. The vibe is back.
The vibe is back! Exactly.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We're excited for the vibe. The vibe is back. No way!
Welcome back to CHS The Vibe. We're back with Season 2 of The Vibe, and it's been so great so far. Don't hesitate to check it out. To wrap up the show on a fun note, let's talk about the Spanish exchange program that we just had. Students came all the way from Spain and stayed with some host families of our own at CHS. And CHS students are excited to travel to Spain in February. Frankie Yee produced and edited this segment on the program.
Living with someone from another country felt very natural, and I was lucky that I had a very friendly host sister. But it was a little bit, it took some getting used to, because even stuff like how to turn on a light was different. So I would say it took a little bit of time for us to kind of find our routine, but once we did, it felt very natural and things moved very smoothly.
It was very interesting to see the culture and how different they live in Spain as to how it is in America. My exchange student Eduardo filled us in on what life is like in Malaga, and very excited to go.
What I actually did notice is that they were so similar, it was hard to tell them apart. The way they dressed, the way they acted, the way they were in the hallway, it was difficult to see who was the Spanish exchange student and who were the American kids.
We move around a lot more than they move around. They tend to stay in the same classroom with the same people, and the teacher moves. So they have a different teacher for every class, but they stay in the same room with the same people, whereas we move around for every class. We have a different teacher, we're in a different room, we have different classmates. In Spain, they tend to eat a lot later and go to bed a lot later than we do in the United States. So they would typically have breakfast and then have lunch when they got home from school around 2, and lunch was their big meal where everyone had a big dinner and everyone was eating at the same time. And then typically around dinner time, around 6 or so, they would have a little bit of a snack, but then have dinner around about 10, 9:30, 10, 11. And that was more kind of how we do with our lunch, where it's kind of just a smaller meal, as opposed to here, obviously, where we tend to eat around noontime, and then around 6 we have our bigger meal.
What I saw were a lot of friendships were forming, even though there was a bit of a language barrier. I think that high school in itself is such an interesting time of life that they had a lot of different connections to make, and a lot of similarities in their experiences, no matter the language.
So everyone really loved the exchange students. And everyone was really, really nice to them, was talking to them, invited them to football games and stuff like that. So I would say that it was a pretty seamless transition to Chelmsford High.
We were surprised. All of them spoke English very well, so that wasn't too difficult. And whenever there was a misunderstanding, we were able to work it out just by communicating a little bit better than usual, which was part of the fun. In a way.
In addition to our Spanish exchange, CHS also hosted a number of French students who had a great time with our CHS host families over the course of a week.
As always, the exchange program was very successful and a lot of fun for students. That's all we have for today, but it really was a great first term. Thank you so much for your continued support and for watching our show. This is Brinley Williamson
and Jonathan Domow
signing off.